And welcome to this 15 at 15 Ideate Annotation software review, brought to you by Greytech, the leading international design software company and your Autodesk Platinum partner, providing software training and bespoke consultancy. Hello, my name's Greg Benson-Shettle. I'm one of the many Autodesk certified instructors here at Greytech, and I've been providing consultancy here for well over a decade. Now, I know you're keen to get on with the main event quickly, so let's move on. So, what is Ideate? It is a Revit plugin that offers you a suite of productivity apps available up on the ribbon. Now, once you have it installed, you'll be able to click on this ribbon tab right here, and you're going to get to that particular tab. Now, in this webinar, we will be exploring just one of the buttons that contains a wide variety of annotation tools that empower our proofing process to ensure the clarity and the legibility of our Revit drawings, helping us to present our design story with clear, uncluttered drawings. Yeah. It's like having our own personal proofing assistant. Now, when we go ahead and click on this button, okay, it may take a moment for it to actually appear, and that's because it is analyzing your Revit project. Okay, now when the Annotate window does open, it will be on the Review tab, and below you'll see a list of possible issues. Okay, you'll see these listed right here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at these. So in this example, you can see that we have an assortment of issues that it's finding. It lists the number of them, how many there are. And this analysis panel, it is expandable. So you can click on those little triangle symbols and they will expand the findings and provide further details in the panel below. Now, the range of issues that Ideate tool can identify is impressive, such as blank tags, question marks, where you often see tags that just have question marks inside of them, duplicate tags, so identify any duplicate elements, and also empty elevation marks. So that's if perhaps you've put an elevation in somewhere and you've disposed of a particular view, and that leaves the elevation marker itself just as a round circle on your actual file. So it will find those incidences. What else can we do? Hidden elements. So it will find things that it may think are not, you didn't intend to actually hide. Okay. So other elements include, well, anything else that's not quite visible. So the annotation clashes, the blank tags, it offers the ability to zoom in on those and see what the problem is and actually fix them as well. So not only will it identify the particular issues, but also as a bonus, it can find or help you sort them out and correct them. These could include orphan tags, zero length dimensions. A zero length dimension occurs when you have a dimension on something, but that particular item is removed. And sometimes the dimension that's associated to that object doesn't actually get deleted as well. Now, as a bonus, we've got annotation alignment tools in there. We've got some advanced Boolean style queries, which is really useful for finding particular elements. And it's got a host of other filtering tools as well. Now, the goal of these 15-minute webinars is to provide a quick overview of what the Ideate tools offer and give you the opportunity to ask questions, request a trial copy of the Revit Ideate plugin, perhaps ask for a more in-depth demo. Now, we have some time left, so let's see what it looks like in real life. It's demo time. Hello, here we are in Revit. So let's see how with this Ideate software actually works. So up on the ribbon, as I mentioned, you're going to find, once you have it installed, a tab here for the Ideate software. So we go ahead and click on there. We have a whole suite of different tool sets, which these 15 webinars are going to be exploring. And in this webinar, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at the Annotate tool set. Okay, so let's see what happens. You click on here. Now, as mentioned, may take a moment while it's actually analyzing your drawing and your project. And there are different settings in here. We could look at the entire project. Probably, if it's a big project, that could take some time. Or you could just look at active views or open views. So there's lots of choices you can make here to streamline the way that you proof your drawings. Now, we've got category options and filters, as I mentioned. Here you're going to find alignment tools, so we can align. This is useful for text and with leaders, especially if you think about it with leader lines. So we can align things vertically, and of course we can line things left justified, right justified, and things of that nature. Now, down in here, we can see the analysis panel. So we have, it's found 5 dimensions where it's got 0 indicators. So we've got a dimension that measures nothing. We've got some annotation clashes. There are some blank tags and also some elevation markers with no elevations. Okay, so you can expand on these. So let's just go through here. So I'm going to move this over to one side. Like so. Now then, watch. I click on this set and look, it's highlighted in green because that's my selection color. It's highlighted in green, all these elements. Now I'm going to make this a bit bigger so we can see all the different bits. And you can even go down and look at individual elements where it's picking up these different faults. Okay, so you can therefore zoom in and we could go in and correct these. Okay. Now let's take a look at this a little closer. So obviously it's highlighting absolutely everything, where all the errors are showing up. So it's highlighting all of them because I selected this top area. Now let's have a look a bit closer. Now, if I click on just one, it will highlight just the one. So over here we can see, and look, there is indeed an object has been dimensioned. Obviously something's been removed. Okay. And it says that. So how do we fix this? Now, of course, you could go in Revit style and use edit witness line, but no, we don't want to do that, do we? What we want to do is obviously delete that element. And we've got a red cross here, which is a typical delete button we would use. So we go ahead and click on that. Another dialog box has opened up. It says, what do you want to do? Well, it's one dimension because that's all we had selected. And we say delete. Now that did get rid of that entire string. Okay, so it could be that that may not be desirable. So, be careful. You can use these. They're very powerful, but you can choose what you want to actually use. So you can just go around and we can find all of these issues. So when you're using this is ideal for those dimensions that are individually placed, but obviously with a string of dimension, you need to be a little more cautious. And perhaps you zoom in afterwards and find where it is and remove it manually. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other areas. Now, annotation clashes, that's interesting. Let's see what these are. We can expand these. Okay, now notice that I can zoom in and out. Did you see that? Did you pick up on that? We can zoom in and out when we have these issues. Now, it's highlighting lots of overlaps. Some of these overlap are dimensions. Okay, so I've got strings of dimensions that have been automatically created and they're overlapping. But more interestingly, let's take a look at perhaps rather than the dimensions, let's have a look at actual text notes. So room tags, text notes. So it's zooming in on this area here. It's highlighting these. And so therefore we can actually take a look and sort these out and perhaps move them around in a more legible fashion. So it will highlight where you've got text, overlapping text. Nobody wants to see that. So our virtual assistant here is helping us tidy up those drawings. So we can go through and you can click on these and inspect them individually and go in and make whatever changes you feel are going to be useful. Moving down the list, we have tags. So it says window tags boxed. Okay, so if I select just this one, we can see it's highlighting on the screen here. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, and indeed it's found a tag, a window tag, which doesn't have a number on it. It's got one of those question marks, basically meaning it's either the wrong type of window tag or that the required information that you want in the window family itself isn't present, so it can't read what's going on. So this is where we can see the tags, and we've got different window tags, and it's found a number of these that have got that particular issue. Let's see what else we have. We have blank tags. So looking through box tags, let's zoom out. And it's highlighting here. So there's again, we've got a tag wanting to get some information, but there's no information to be found. So it means we can go in and sort that out. Now then, what about elevation markers? So here are the elevation markers. And again, so I'm going to zoom out so we can see the whole thing. Let's see where they are. Elevation markers. Only the one. It's in the kitchen area. So I would guess that what's happened here in the past is that somebody dropped an elevation marker in. They were probably considering having some internal elevations for each of those cabinet layouts, so they could see exactly which fittings were going to be on which wall. But it looks like those particular views have been deleted, and that has left this particular marker. So of course we can go in and we could directly delete it. Or perhaps it's an indicator that some elevation views that we were expecting to provide in our deliverable pack are actually missing. Okay, so obviously it could go both ways. Let's see what else we have available. So moving on down, expand elements that are not visible. So we've got structural plans, we've got some dimensions in here, but these are in the structural plans as opposed to my floor plan here. So as you can see, it's really easy to scroll through and analyze your drawing, find out where you've got clashes, find out where you've got empty information or duplicate information. Okay. And as I mentioned, you've also got various alignment tools as well. So let's have a look here. We have some notes with leaders on, but they're all a bit of a mess. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the alignment tool. This is fantastic. Select this one, hold the good old control key down, and I'll select. So I've made a selection here, and of course we can choose which way I want to align it. Aligning it left would seem sensible, so we click on Align Left. I'm then going to choose the one that I'd like to have as the master, the one that everything will line up to, if you like. So I'm going to pick this one in the middle, and look at that, nice and neat, all sorted out. So these are some of the really useful tidying up tools that we have with the Ideate apps software. And of course, we've been concentrating on this Annotate tab. Very quick to demonstrate because it's so easy to use. Okay, I hope you found that useful. So let's just head on back to our main presentation. What are we going to do next? Well, if you'd like to get your free trial, please head on over to our website, greatech.com. Using the navigation tools at the top, go to Expand Software, then you'll see Revit plugins, and then you can select the Ideate apps. Click on Discover, and that'll find you'll find more information in there, and of course, the ability to download your free trial. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer, drop me a line at greg.benson-shettle@greatech.com, or feel free to please, and I'd welcome you to do so, connect with me over on LinkedIn. Okay, so it's now question time. So I'll leave you with our host to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much. All the very best. Bye-bye.